Welcome to the Personal Perseverance Project. My name is David Atkins, retired New York State Trooper, $1 Million Direct Sales International Business Earner, author, and keynote motivational speaker, where each week I come here to help you break through your excuses so you can live a life up to your fullest potential. Let the project begin.
That is my mindset. I operate on a level of excellence, and you guys need to wake up every single day, and you need to operate on a level of excellence and create your masterpiece.
April 25th, 2007. I'll never forget that day. It was the hardest day in my life. It was the day that my best friend was shot and killed in the line of duty with the New York State Police. And there's a whole story I can share about that. But today's episode is a little different. Today's episode in the Personal Perseverance Project, I really want to hopefully stir something inside of you, bring a realization to you, give you a light bulb moment with where you are in your life, maybe what you're struggling in, you know, where you're trying to get in your life when it comes to your success and your goals and your mindset, and just, you know, it's just so easy to get caught up in the craziness of life and not able to take a step back sometimes and to really look at things through a different lens, to see life through a different lens, to understand things through a different lens. And that's what this episode's going to be about. And what I'm going to start with is I will never, ever remember the clothes that Dave wore, my best friend, David Brinkerhoff. I call him Brink, I call him Dave. I'll never forget the clothes that he wore, or say the special cars that he had, or the expensive cologne that maybe he bought, or the expensive sneakers, or the home that he lived in. Like, I don't remember that, but you know what I do remember? I remember the significance Dave had in my life. I remember the conversations that we had. I remember the sayings of him always saying, giddy up, when it was time to go somewhere. We would get in his car, whether we were heading to a party in college or we were heading to do something with the state police and going to the academy. He always said, giddy up. I remember how he always made me laugh. I remember the day of my wedding at my house that morning, that Brink and my other very close friend, Anthony, the joking that went on, the laughing that went on, the chop busting that went on. Like, I will never, ever forget the impact that Dave made in my life. And the reason I share this with you is I want you to understand this. People are not going to remember the cars that you drove, or the home that you lived in, or the fancy vacation that you went on, or all those materialistic things that so often in life we're working so hard to get things in our life. We're working so hard to achieve certain things, you know, and I'm not here to say that you shouldn't enjoy great things from working hard, but I want you to understand that people don't remember that. Nobody will remember the fancy car that you drove, but everybody will remember how you made them feel. Let me say that again. People aren't going to remember the things that you had, but everybody's going to remember how you made them feel. The impact that you make in people's lives is how people are going to remember you. And I'll tell you right now, instead of chasing success or chasing things, and instead you chase significance, then everything else will fall into place. If you focus on chasing significance and making it about others and how you can make an impact in other people's lives, instead of chasing, say, the money so you can get a fancy car, if you chase significance and you make an impact people's lives, you will get the car that you want. You will get what you want, because Zig Ziglar has said, the famous Zig Ziglar, help enough people get what they want and you will get what you want. But so often you have it backwards. We have it backwards because we're chasing the money to get the thing instead of chasing the impact we can make and the significance you can make, which in turn, that's how you're going to be remembered. Right? At all funerals, you don't, you know, like Denzel Washington talked about, you don't ever see a U-Haul truck driving behind the hearse the day of a funeral. Why? Because you can't take your things with you. So your legacy is lived on by the impact that you make in the world. And if you focus on significance rather than things, then you will get everything that you want when it comes to things you're striving to get, materialistic things in your life. But here's the thing. You may say, David, how do I be significant? And that's a great question. How do I focus on the right things to be significant? And I'm going to say this, or I'm going to ask you this. What are your gifts? What gifts do you have in this world? We're all unique. And I know with certainty we all have gifts. We all have gifts in our life. And your gifts is the thing that you do best with the least amount of effort. Let me say that again. Your gifts is the thing you do best with the least amount of effort. You know, thinking back in the past to where I am today, when I first became a state trooper and I wanted to be in law enforcement, I knew that because not only did I love what the profession was about, to serve people, to make a difference in the world, I loved what the excitement would be about, but I had the ability and the gift and the knack to recognize when I was a trooper things that didn't look right. You know, if I pulled somebody over on the side of the road for speeding and I approached them within a couple of seconds, just simply saying, you know, license or registration, where you're coming from, I can tell almost instantly if something else is going on. Are they hiding something in the car? Are they transporting drugs? Is there possibly weapons in the car? Are they doing something that they shouldn't be doing? By simply saying, where are you coming from? Where are you going? Just having conversation. I had that innate ability to recognize suspicious things. Late at night, seeing certain people, you know, maybe walking down the street. I had the knack. And because of that, I made hundreds of arrests, thousands of arrests over my career, you know, from DWI arrests to arresting murderers and chasing people that, you know, that escaped and where to look. Now, you know, I think we should check here, and finding people. Like, I had an amazing career, and I always recognized I had a gift where some people that, you know, they got into, say, their professional law enforcement, they just wanted to have a steady paycheck and a job, and they were there, and it was just different. Not that it was in a bad way, but I just recognized, I just had like this sixth sense to recognize something was that it was a gift that was given to me. And then I'll tell you, a bigger gift that I recognized is being a motivational speaker, getting up on stage. Do you know one of the biggest fears that people have, you know, is public speaking? It's like number one and number two. It's fear of death and fear of public speaking. Those are like the biggest fears people have. To get up in front of an audience and speak is scares the living heck out of people, right? And for me, when I started having success in my business with Beachbody, and Beachbody asked me to start speaking at events, which started in a library of 17 people and then 100 and a couple hundred, I never knew that I had this God-given gift to speak. But what I did know is that when I got up on a stage to speak, it invigorated me. It felt good, but it came very natural to me. It came very thing that would scare somebody. Like when I got up, I didn't need a podium in front of me because that was a sense of security, right? Most people, they want to be up in a podium and read what's in front of them. I was able to kind of move in the room. I was able to take my passion in my voice and to share what I wanted to share with everybody. And it came natural to me. It is a gift that was given to me. Again, your gift is a thing that you do best with the least amount of effort. And I knew that this was a gift that was given to me. And then it's a matter of going after those gifts, right? So for me, then it was a matter of, all right, I retired from the state police because I'm going to go after, you know, there's a line that I say when I speak. I say God's gift to us is potential, and our gift back is what we do with it. And I believe that the potential as me as a speaker was a gift that was given to me, and now it's my job to go out there and make an impact in the world. And I share these gifts with you because I want you to understand this. And let me circle back to the beginning. When you focus on the right things about being significant in other people's lives, and you do that by finding out what your gifts are, the thing you do best, least amount of effort, and you go out there and use your gifts, and then you ask yourself, how can I make an impact in the world? If you focus that way in your life, you will be rewarded exponentially, and you'll get more than you can ever imagine. There are far too many people who are out there in the world that are miserable in their jobs, who are not happy with the work that they do, and it's because they don't love what they do, because they're not doing something that they're probably gifted in. You know, like I think of my wife, Kristen. She is gifted in in cooking. She's an unbelievable cook. She can just take miscellaneous things, throw them together, and it's the most delicious meal ever. And I'm beyond blessed to have her as my wife. And she has used that gift to make meals for other people locally. She makes meals for other people and gives them, and she's making an impact in the world. Why? Because that's her gift, right? And she's using it to be significant in the world. People aren't going to remember the car that I drove and my wife drove, but people are going to remember the meals and the impact that my wife gave them. People are going to remember that my message that I shared with them up on stage and how I made them feel. People are going to remember the tears that people had in their eyes, or the happiness that they had, or the laughter they had from when I get up on stage. People won't remember what I was wearing on stage. People don't remember the shoes that I was on my feet, whether I had, $10 shoes on or $150 shoes on. People aren't going to remember those things. And we get so caught up in chasing things, but instead focus on being significant in someone's lives, as Brink was to me, and that's how I remember him. And I realize as I get older that that's how people are going to remember us. So what are your gifts? And that's what you need to chase. And why is it so important to use your gifts to chase, to make an impact? And this is my next point I want you guys to understand. Because you're going to hit tough times. You are going to get challenged. Even if you're pursuing your gifts and you love what you do, you're going to hit tough times. You're either in a problem, coming out of a problem, or there's a problem on the horizon tomorrow. And how do you get through those problems? You need to love what you do, because when you love what you do, that is the only thing that's going to push through hard times. Because if you start and pursue something that you're not gifted in and you don't love, and you're focusing on the wrong reasons, right? You know what's going to happen? When you hit an obstacle, you're going to quit because you don't have a driving force for why you do what you do. But when you find out what your gift is, and we all have it, again, it's the thing you do best with the least amount of effort, and you take your gift and say, how can I make an impact in the world? How can I serve others with this gift? Guys, it could be basket weaving. If you're an unbelievable basket weaver and you make basket weaves and you put them up on Etsy and you create a shop, and there's people out there that want that stuff, and now you're making an impact to people that love your basket weaving because you're gifted, then it's going to come back to you. And then if you're thinking like a business owner, okay, how can I scale this? And maybe you're hiring help so you can make more of the stuff that you do. If you're into, say, crafts, and then you can sell more and make more income, right? And then you can duplicate that again, and you can continue to grow and make a big impact in the world. Why? Because you're using your gifts to make an impact, and you love what you do. So when you hit trials and tribulations, because you will, that you keep going. Okay? So I think that people need to hear this, because far too many people are chasing the wrong things. It's okay to chase a vacation or to chase a nice fancy car. It's okay. Those things are great. But if you're doing it and the income that you're making is coming from something that you hate, or something that is not about making an impact in the world, and you're purely chasing money, there will come a point in your life you're going to be burnt out. You're going to be depressed. You're not going to feel like you're living a sense of purpose in your life, and you're simply collecting a paycheck. And now you have these materialistic things that, A, it's going to wear off, right? You ever get a new car, and after a couple of months, that luxury kind of wears off? That's going to happen. But you're chasing the wrong things, and you're also chasing something that's not making an impact in the world. You have to love it. So, guys, I share this with you because I posted a video today on my Instagram page of when I spoke in front of 20,000 people in the NFL Superdome, and I shared the story of losing Brink, and I said, you know what? I will never, ever forget the impact that he had in my life. I will never forget the memories that we have. And it's not about the things that Brink had. It's not about the materialistic things he may have owned. It was about the impact he made in my life. And if you focus on impact over money, you will get all the money that you want. How do you focus on impact over money? Figure out what your gifts are and share it with the world, and turn it into a business, and then scale it, and you will have more blessings than you can ever imagine. And when you hit hard times, because you love it, you will push through the hard times because you love what you do. So guys, that's my message for you today. It may have been short, but it's to the point. I need you to ask yourself and think what I share with you through. I need you to really look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I chasing the right things? Am I chasing impact and significance over income? Or am I just chasing income? If you're just chasing income, you're going to be in for a rude and sad awakening. If you're not, you have already been. And maybe this is the message you need to hear so you can adjust. And listen, I'm going to end with this. Up until now, everything that's happened is in the past. So stop living in it. Stop living in the past. Stop, even right now, if you're like, wow, I need to tweak some things, it's over, right? And my new philosophy, as I'm writing my second book right now that I've been typing away, my one decision away philosophy basically is saying no matter what has happened to you in your past up to this very moment, you are always just one decision away from writing the course. You are one decision away from going and dreaming again. You're one decision away from pursuing your gifts. You're one decision away from, you know what, I know I would love to have that role in the company and apply for a promotion. You're one decision away from starting that business that you know you'd love to do because it's in your gifts. We are always one decision away, and my goodness, so often we are living in the past, and it snowballs, and days and weeks and months, and for many of us, years go by, and we look back and we're like, what happened? What happened is every single day you were living in the past and you weren't willing to take that step forward. But you know what? One decision. As soon as you finish listening to this, you can make one decision that can change the course, the direction of your life. So guys, that's my message for you guys today. Focus on significance, focus on impact, stop focusing on materialistic things, figure out what your gifts are, turn it into a business or turn it into something that can create income. You'll love what you do, and you will get through the rough times. So, guys, that's it. Please share this episode. Hope everybody's having a great summer in 2024, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Personal Perseverance Project. My goal every single day is to help people live up to their fullest potential. So please share this episode, subscribe to my channel, and maybe even leave a review. Be sure to connect and follow me on all my social media channels. And if you would like more information about me potentially being a keynote speaker at your event, or maybe you want to work with me one-on-one as your private coach, be sure to go to my website at davidatkinsspeaks.com for more information. Thank you.